joined here with General D.D. Bakshi at Gurugram University in Haryana for the launch of his new book on Operation Sindoor. So could you please help us with a short introduction of your book?
Look, the book is in the tradition of what is called a hot wash-up. The moment an operation is over in the Navy, they get together all the people who have taken part in that operation, while memory before it fades. They recount the whole operation and try and learn lessons. So that is why we haven't waited for things to be declassified, because the rate of pace of change of technology is so fast that within months things change. So we can't wait for 4 or 5 years for the official records to be declassified before we go. There is adequate in the open domain, etc. And people like me who have served in the Operation Directorate twice, and I have taken part in so many battles. Once I get to this, I can fill in the blanks. I can fill in the gaps, right? And that is why I decided, with my experience of so many wars, 71 war, I fought in Punjab, Kargil, Kishtwar, Rajouri, Punch, and of course I oversaw the operations in Sri Lanka. I oversaw operations in Vijay from the Military Operation Directorate. So I am in a position to relate the past to the present and look towards the future. This book is about the future. Where do we go from here? That is the distinctive thing about the book. It's not just about what happened. Most of us know what happened. How and why it happened, that's what we've gone into. And where do we go from here? That is the essence of this book.
So in what ways did the tri-service integration during Operation Sindoor surpass previous joint operations?
Excellent. You see, the tri-service is the way to go. It will have to come in. Whenever we have succeeded, like we succeeded in 71, it was because of excellent tri-service chemistry between the three chiefs. Now, we have to institutionalize that chemistry. It can't be left to chance. कि भाई इनकी बहुत अच्छी पट गई तो they have operated together. It is a sine qua non for victory. Jointness. Joint operation, joint planning, joint execution. That is the most essential part of military operations today. And we are delighted that under the team, under our Prime Minister, under the NSA, the Raksha Mantri, the Chief of Defence Staff, three service chiefs, they've done a superb job of a tri-service integrated operation, whole of the government approach, in which the entire pressure of the Indian Armed Forces was put on Pakistan to make it cry uncle. You see, the army took part, the Air Force played a major role, and our drone warfare came of age, right? We were fighting in the future. We were not fighting in the last war. We had prepared for the future and we have delivered. Our scientists have done a terrific job with Navik, with Akash Tir, with our layered air defense system, with our modified guns, L-70 legacy guns modified, linked to the radars, and they have shot down 90% of Pakistani drones, 100% of their missiles.
So what lessons in information warfare or narrative management has emerged from Operation Sindoor?
There are major lessons to learn there. We have to improve with each war. So we found that the build-up phase was very good in trying to build up, psych up the people for what was coming, the conflict that was coming. That was very well done. But when the conflict started, there were uncomfortable gaps. At critical moments, the system tended to blank out, right? And we sort of broke the SOPs, standard operating procedures, right? The SOPs are that in the Kargil war, I was there in Military Operation Directorate. Every day, one rep from the military operations, Air Force operations, Navy operations, along with MOD rep, MEA reps, used to brief the press every day. And it was seamless. It was so well, this thing. This time when we started, of course, the MEA was briefing in the start phase, and it was right because it was more diplomatic, it was more IWT, etc. But when the shooting war started, then the armed forces should have started the briefing. But we found the MEA briefing Now, however good the foreign secretary, he is not a domain expert as far as war is concerned. Therefore, we lost out the battle of narrative to start with, first 4 or 5 days. It's only when our DGMO started briefing that, the correct message started going out as far as the kinetic operations were concerned. As far as the kinetic operations were concerned. So there are a number of lessons to be learned. We must shape the narrative at the global level, regional level, national level, right? And they say that it is very essential not just to win the war in the ground, air and the sea, but to win the battle of the narrative is even more important, right? And therefore, narrative building, we need to improve a lot from what we have learned.
The final question, sir. How did India maintain escalation control under the nuclear overhang while striking terror targets?
Excellent, excellent. You see, the biggest problem in South Asia was that since 1998, both countries had gone nuclear. You see, and previously in the Congress government regime, we were so worried about the nuclear overhang that we did nothing. We deterred ourselves into self-deterred ourselves into total impotence. What did we do after 26/11? Nothing. 2003 train bombing? Nothing. Attack on the parliament? Nothing. It's only when the present government came that it first fired a shot across the bow in 2016 with the surgical strikes. Worked for a year and two. Then again he started. Then we did 2019, the Balakot airstrike. Worked for 2-3 years. Then again he started. This time we have done it properly. We haven't, worried so much about the nuclear overhang. We've hit Pakistan and hard and deep and strong, right? Without getting unduly concerned about that the nuclear threshold is not so low in South Asia. And what we have clearly learnt is that we can deter with technological excellence of our air defenses. Almost 100% incoming missiles were shot down. 90% drones were shot down. No Pakistani aircraft cruise missile could penetrate. Right? So, can we stop? The thinking now is, can you stop Pakistan's nuclear reaction by defensive means and a combination of offensive means like hitting the nuclear weapon storage sites at Kirana Hills, Chagai Hills? That makes the nuclear overhang meaningless. And you can go in for decisive results like we achieved in 1971. Then there was no nuclear backdrop. Now we have to worry about a nuclear backdrop, but Operation Sindoor has possibly shown us the way ahead. How we can achieve decisive results even with a nuclear backdrop.
Finally, sir, what lessons do we expect to receive from this book, sir?
Oh, this book, you must read the book to draw the lesson. Yes, but the simple fact is that I have taken a look at what is going to happen. Is more important than you take a look back to learn, and having learnt your lessons, you look at what is going to happen. The thing is, my PhD thesis was on limited wars in South Asia under a nuclear overhang. Right? That was my PhD thesis. I was the first officer to do a PhD, earn a PhD from the National Defence College when I was teaching there. So I had done this, I had worked on this particular topic, and I'm very happy to see that most of what I had recommended has come to pass. The Air Force is the prime instrument of inflicting deterrence by punishment, coercion and control. Coercion, compellence. We have to do that. We have to then achieve, lot of escalation dominance, which we were able to achieve. And if we are able to deal with the nuclear factor, defang the nuclear thing, as the Prime Minister has said, next time the nuclear overhang will not deter us because we know how to counter it now. We can counter it meaningfully. And Pakistan has almost been defanged. That is the thing. So, can we then think of major, decisive results like we had achieved in 71? We'll have to do a restructuring of subcontinental security again. The time is coming to repeat 71. Operation Sindoor is not over. We must prepare methodically. We must increase our GDP and the government is doing. We are trying to buy 114 Rafales. We are trying to buy at least 70 to 80 Su-57s. We are trying to speed up our Tejas project. We can't afford to wait. And even our Navik series of satellite, there were 9 satellites up there. Out of them, only 2 are serviceable today. We have to quickly make up our satellites, because that was the major technological enabling factor which gave us accuracy, sub-meter level accuracy. So we have to work very hard. We can't take it easy. We don't have all the time in the world to do it slowly, methodically. We'll have to work fast. The ATAC guns have come in. We should buy them in quantity rather than saying design another gun, which will take 10 years. We don't have 10 years. Time is at a premium. We must speed up our military build-up, because the next war could come any time.
Thank you for speaking with us, sir. Today we were with General Bakshi here at Gurugram University at his new book launch on Operation Sindoor. Thank you.